the K.
To the K.
Hello, one and all. Welcome to the A2theK Wrestling Show. Surprise. We're once again emanating from the beautiful A2theK studios. And do we sound even better?
I think so.
I mean, we always sounded good.
Liquid butter in your ears.
That's what that is. So we're coming at you with a new microphone setup this week.
Yeah.
So
you know, if you don't hear anything, that's probably what happened.
yeah, basically. And, you know, we wouldn't have been able to hear Anthony even say that in the first place. But we're also coming at you with some news. So coming up tonight in the Ringside Report. Sammy Guevara and Andrade damn it, I did it so well.
Yes! Sorry.
Andrade have a major falling out.
Vice TV are reportedly releasing a Vince McMahon documentary this month.
Daniel Cormier is set to be the special guest referee for the Fight Pit match at Extreme Rules.
Brock Lesnar is set to return at Crown Jewel.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's final match, or next match, who even knows at this point, has been unveiled.
We have a potential update on the Randy
Orton
injury.
Speaking of Randy Orton, he's getting sued. Well, someone is. 2K getting sued. So we'll give you more on that.
Yeah. Is Shawn Spears leaving AEW?
Hopefully. No,
Damn.
Ruby Soho undergoes surgery.
And will the White Rabbit be unveiled at Extreme Rules?
Anthony, when's all this coming up?
It's all coming up right fucking now.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And we'll kick off with the first one, shall we?
Let's do this thing.
I believe it's me, this first one. So
I also believe that.
More drama. Just when you think... In fact, Tony Khan actually came out this week saying that the locker room is the best it's been since the start of 2022. And then this happens literally...
Stop fighting!
Minutes later. Andrade El Idolo, see I can say it, and Sammy Guevara are the latest pair of AEW peeps to...
latest pair of AEW peeps.
I mean, anyone who follows Ricky Starks will have seen him post a tweet and delete it almost immediately, basically to the effect of, can all my co-workers just stop fucking fighting for 2 minutes? So... That's exactly where we are, let's be honest.
Tweet and delete. That's the AEW way.
Tweet and delete. But yeah, this is where we are. So effectively, Andrade gave an interview, it was a controversial one, to say the least, obviously, with what's going on with his situation at the moment, effectively saying that he's not super happy in AEW. But he actually called out Sammy Guevara and said that there was a time when Sammy approached him backstage in the locker room, kind of like a little girl, I believe the quote was, saying that he hit too hard, basically. And Andrade was like, well, this is wrestling. If, sort it in the ring. If I hit you too hard, you hit me back, that kind of thing. Which is, I'm not sure is the best advice, but anyway.
I don't know, that's kind of an old school mentality, but, I don't know.
Yeah. But so basically, off the back of that, Sammy Guevara came back and was essentially to the effect of calling Andrade a jobber, and basically said he was a pity hire to, obviously because he was Ric Flair's son-in-law and all this kind of stuff. Andrade then hits back saying, well, at least I'm man enough to say this to your face and that kind of thing, to which Sammy was like, you've never said anything like this to my face. Why don't you just go back to WWE and fuck off, go back to WWE like you want to, and
along that line, yeah. And then didn't somebody corroborate Andrade's version of events though, saying they were there?
Yeah. So his little mouth, I can't remember his name, little mouthpiece guy he's got with him. I don't think that's his actual name. I wish I had it written down here.
Little mouth.
Little mouth.
Yeah.
Little mouth El Idolo. So yeah.
I mean, for me, because there's been a lot of suggestion this is a work of sorts as well, and I'm like, if this is a work, it's a pretty bad idea for AEW to do that right now when there's been a lot of real shit going on. So it's like, yeah, I understand it might be a clever idea to let people think it's real. I'm all for that. But when there've been so much controversy and all we want really at the minute is just a solid storyline that isn't based in some sort of fucking spat.
You just want a solid company at this point. Literally everyone's falling out with each other.
Yeah, it is.
There was obviously rumours ahead of all the stuff that happened with Punk and stuff anyway. You've had the likes of Thunder Rosa and Britt and all these other, loads of shit going on with talent. And just when you think finally they're over the, on the... What's that expression?
Over the
hump. Over the hill. Over the hill.
Over the hill. Isn't that
like
to be
over the hill and buried under it?
Yeah,
that's what the friend said.
Isn't that Ric Flair? But yeah, I'm starting to think maybe they should change the theme music to Dynamite to Falling Apart by Zebrahead.
Yes, probably more fitting.
Everything's falling apart. Anyway, it's just Tony Khan. But yeah, it's for me, if it is a work, it's a really poor idea to make a storyline out of the controversy that keeps happening.
Obviously, people are alluding to it maybe being a work because the stipulation on Friday this week is it's going to be Andrade's career versus Preston Vance's mask on the line, and it's like, well, why would you book that match out of nowhere when? You know what I mean? Unless he's gonna go or whatever. So.
Unless that was the plan, he was leaving. But I don't think Andrade's really been treated wrong in AEW. It's another one. Like a lot of people will go, he was a bigger deal in WWE, like they do with Miro, and you go, I don't think he's been particularly treated bad in AEW. Like
he hasn't been. It's just he's felt aimless. Is probably the right way. But so have a lot of talent.
Everyone feels aimless, Carl.
A lot of talent.
I know, but like when you consider there's a lot of talent who really don't get any screen time, I don't think by any means the likes of Miro or Andrade or Alistair or a lot of the people who come in from WWE, I don't think they've been handled badly in terms of the roster. Maybe there's not been great storylines for them, but they've certainly had some screen time.
Yeah.
Controversial, maybe, but
maybe
how I feel, Carl.
It's just how he feels. So yeah, interesting one to say the least. But seems like drama is not done with. TNT are known for airing drama, so
I mean that's what it is. Yeah,
literally
a new title coming. So this one, surprisingly not a lot of detail considering when it's allegedly coming out, but Vice TV apparently releasing a Vince McMahon documentary. Carl.
Yeah.
So we don't know too much detail. The suggestion is that it's going to be based around everything that led up to his exit. So,
they're literally
they're not pulling stuff. They're not pulling. Yeah. Well, I don't know if Edge is going to be involved, but
he shouldn't be cutting himself.
Well, that's true. They're not pulling punches and they're not shying away. And by all accounts, Vice TV have got a history of this because they did Dark Side of the Ring and various bits like that. So it's not, it should be quite a gritty documentary. But the surprising thing here is that apparently it's coming out in October. And we're in October now.
So when?
What?
Like this week? Today? Is it out already?
And this has all come from people who have allegedly been interviewed for this documentary mentioning it. So again, it's kind of rumor mill. It might not necessarily be October, but by all accounts, we're gonna get the Vince facts. Well, not facts, opinions probably. But I'm looking forward to it. We've talked about this before that love him or hate him, and there's a lot of controversial stuff that you can very well hate him for. Vince McMahon is a fascinating character.
Yeah,
and
massively.
When they were going to release a Netflix documentary about him, I was there for it. Same with Vice. Any sort of story that you can write about Vince McMahon, even if he wrote his own memoirs that are fully lies, I'd still watch that one too. It's all good.
He's such a fascinating figure, isn't he? He's no matter what it is, whether it's a documentary, whether it's something he writes or whatever, everyone's going to want to see that. The fact it's going to come out this month, and the fact it's even going to come out at all, is fascinating. It's interesting.
I think the timing's interesting because the Vice TV are also releasing that
booking the territories thing.
The territories one. Apologies if I forget the full title, which has The Rock involved as, I want to say, executive producer.
Yeah.
So they're putting some wrestling content out there, but obviously the territories will heavily involve Vince McMahon, who famously kind of ruined the territories, really.
Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah.
So maybe they're going to lead into it. It's like, here's the man who did it all.
Yeah, his career went downhill, so now we can think what might have been. But yeah, if it comes out, obviously this month, I think a lot of people will be clamouring to go and watch that.
Good use of the word clamouring.
And I'll just plug the computer back in because it wasn't plugged in.
Of course, that makes sense,
So the next one to talk about, probably a bit of a short and sweet one, but there was rumours. I think it was originally broken by Ariel Helwani, who's obviously got a bit of a relationship with WWE at the moment. But Daniel Cormier, the former light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the world in UFC, is now confirmed to be the special guest referee for the Fight Pit match at Extreme Rules between Seth freaking Rollins and Matt Riddle. And how do we know it's confirmed? Because on Raw, he basically came on the Titantron and told everybody.
That's pretty damn confirmed.
I know you're not a massive UFC fan, and I know a lot of the WWE audience might not be. So I don't know how well this will actually go down with the majority of the crowd.
I'll be honest, I think I quite like that it's relevant. you know, the fight pit is probably the closest you'll get to a UFC kind of style, which we've seen before in NXT. And I think if you're gonna have him in a guest referee spot, this is the one to have.
Yeah,
like it'd be weird if he was like guest referee for the Logan Paul Roman Reigns match, for instance.
Yeah,
you're like, well,
wouldn't necessarily make the most sense.
But this one, I actually think it suits really well.
Yeah, well, he's a massive WWE fan, and obviously he's been in the UFC, as has Matt Riddle, and also he's a massive fan of Seth Rollins as well. So he's going to be made up, and I know he's shown interest. He's retired now from UFC. I know he's shown interest of doing something with WWE down the road. So maybe, you know, this could lead on to something more.
Maybe. Always hoping for something more.
What could that something more be?
So apparently, Carl, a lot of people have been talking about Crown Jewel, and a lot of people were suggesting that Goldberg may be making a return for Crown Jewel. I was going around for that because they love him over there in Saudi. Absolutely love Goldberg because guessing they've no taste.
Yeah.
I kid. Joke. But apparently, and this has been reported from Ringside News on a sort of a source within WWE that they've spoken to, that Brock Lesnar will be making his return at Crown Jewel.
Okay.
So that isn't to say that Goldberg isn't, but we've had no confirmation with Goldberg, but we're heavily suggested Brock Lesnar is going to be involved with Crown Jewel. The interesting thing about this is Brock Lesnar's typically main event scene. That's where we put him. That's what happens. Yeah. But that's already booked. So I'm super intrigued where we're going to put Brock. And, you know, there's plenty of options out there, but he's certainly not going to be going up against Roman Reigns. Also, slight gripe, can we stop calling it a return?
Yeah.
Like, when he's like...
At this point. It's like Edge.
Honestly, we're a stone's throw from them being like, Brock Lesnar's return. It's like, he literally just went for a piss.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah, it's a very valid point. But it's a fascinating thing that you mentioned. Normally, he would be a staple for the main event scene, which is booked up for Crown Jewel. So if he comes back, what do you do? I
mean, I've said a million times he's at that status now, and I think he solidified that status. Funnily enough, when he ended the streak, that he's someone who can draw. He doesn't need the belt. Like Undertaker, I've said this about Undertaker.
I've seen a couple of pictures that wasn't.
But you know, they're not bad. Doodles, if you will. Modern day Picasso, some say. But I digress too much. Where were we? Oh yeah, but like Undertaker, for instance, Undertaker doesn't need to come back and have a match for the belt.
Yeah.
Rock doesn't need to have a match for the belt, and I think Brock's at that point now as well. If he comes back, he's going to have a match with whomever, being posh. And I don't think it'll need to be a title one. Like, wouldn't you love to see him fight Drew again? Doesn't have to be for a belt.
Yes, I absolutely would, to be fair. I was going to ask you that, like, who do you think it could be? I know there was...
I don't know who I think it could be. I would love for it to be AJ Styles.
Oh, okay. That's a out of left field one. I know that people have mentioned Bobby Lashley again. Yeah, that one thing. So that's an option. And you may have guessed what I was alluding to based on the previous story of Daniel Cormier. Now, obviously, Brock, former UFC heavyweight champion. There was a time before he re-signed with WWE when he got in the cage when Cormier was the heavyweight champ and shoved him. And it was like, oh, this was going to get set up next. And then it just never materialised. So, similar to Velasquez, could we get it in WWE?
You know, fair enough. Never even considered that one. I was picking AJ because I want something I've not really had a lot of. Like, or I'd mean no offence to Bobby when I say this, but I don't really enjoy the matches when he has them with the likes of Brock and that. When it's kind of mirror matches, I don't think it... Like, Bobby thrives when he's dominating someone that he clearly outsizes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's less impressive or entertaining for me when it's like, well, Brock's just as big as you. And you know, surprisingly, a better technical wrestler. And I only say surprisingly because, like, he's... Despite he obviously has a wrestling background, so I'm not disrespecting that, but in WWE it's like suplex. You know, he's not like you see a lot of technical wrestling, but like you know, I don't know. I just don't want the match. I'm not against him. That's all I'm saying.
He just doesn't want it. But yeah, so it could be Bobby, could be Cormier, could be someone we've not even thought of like AJ Styles. Or was it from Ringside News? Did you say? So
Ringside News.
They're the ones reporting that it's going to happen. So
indeed. Apparently, what they said is a tenured member of the creative team.
Okay.
So they seem fairly resolute in the reliability of that person.
It could be Brock Goldberg. You never know. But yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer to, you know, a degree that, you know, people want to be on that card because they get paid a shed load of money.
Yeah, that's true.
So Speaking of matches that people do or don't want to see, again, a bit like Marmite, this one. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is making his anticipated return, maybe, for some. But look, Ricky Steamboat.
I'm not sure anyone was anticipating it.
Ricky Steamboat is an absolute legend. Obviously, he's had some of the finest matches of all time. His match with Savage at WrestleMania 2, for example, was was incredible as well. So it's interesting that he's come back, but similarly to when Ric Flair came back, he's not coming back for singles competition. So it's been announced it's going to be a 3-on-3 match, and he's going to be teaming up with FTR to take on Jay Lethal. Well, it's going to be the Arn Anderson's Four Horsemen, except there's only 3 of them, so I'm guessing Arn is the other one, and it's going to be his son, Brock Anderson, teaming with Jay Lethal and a mystery opponent. Ooh. So he's back. The match is announced, but it's not really, because we still don't know who he's actually fighting. But I believe, while not confirmed, there's heavy rumours that Bret the Hitman Hart is going to be potentially involved in some capacity, because obviously FTR are there and Steamboat and stuff. But I don't think he's going to be his opponent. I think he might just be there like at ringside or something. So,
be like he was at Clash of the Castle.
Like letting off a massive fart. Have you seen the memes? It was like
no.
Woman's behind him like this. Like, she got like a tuck up or something like that, and he just like,
and it's that slightly happy look on his face.
Yeah, a little smirk.
Like he's not smiling, but
he knows what he did. The best fart in the world. The best fart. the best ever will be. So fascinating. I know a lot of people have said, "Oh, Ric Flair wanted to fight Steamboat last time, and he said he wants one more match. Is the mystery person going to be Ric Flair?
Just fucking retire."
I mean, some people have strong views about this.
Look, I'm not bothered if he retires or not. I'm bothered as telling every single time he tells us he's retiring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like Terry Funk though, isn't it? It's just you can't, it's like
I'm just saying, like,
this is it, and then you get.
Imagine, right, if he worked in a real workplace, right? Imagine you had a colleague, Carl, who's like, "Oh, I'm retiring," and everyone's like, "Oh, that's," but they all do a collection, like presents and stuff. "Oh, we're gonna miss you," and then he turns back up next week.
Yeah,
like, I thought I'd do another week. You'd be like, "Fuck off."
Eventually, Elaine's not gonna make that cake anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like he's had his cake.
Yeah, had your cake. You fucked off, and you don't have it anymore.
No, it's the incessant telling us he's going to retire. How many times has Rick retired?
3 or 4 times, maybe.
So,
interesting.
Just stop saying it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like the point I was going to make was him and Arn apparently aren't on the best of terms anyway. So I think a lot of people are saying that it won't be him. So they aren't. So remains to be seen. But yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is going to be back at some point this year. I think.
Course.
Don't have the date.
Let's talk about the card though, right? FTR, fantastic hands to be in when you're a veteran in the business. I'm a bit sketchy on the other side of the card. Like Brock's quite green. Like really, like Jay Lethal obviously lives up to his name. But we don't know who the mystery opponent's going to be. I no offense to Brock Anderson, and I kind of get the legacy element of it, but we've not seen a lot of him in the ring to go, is this going to be a banger of a match? True. Like, I don't know, I'm a bit iffy on the other side of that card, man.
Yeah, it's certainly,
maybe Brett should be in it, because like right now I'm
well, yeah, there's more star power on the left side, isn't there, than
the other. It's a bit unbalanced.
A little bit.
Were you talking about that or here?
I don't know. What?
Star power on the left. I was being a dick. Anyway, so this one, Carl, I'm not sure where we are with this, right? So Randy Orton's been out for some time. It's been a little bit of a vague one as to how long he'll be out for, what the deal is, what's going on. Obviously written off on screen, but we don't know fully the details there. Now, there's been some suggestion that he's going to be back really soon, possibly as soon as the Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania, or well, I say even WrestleMania, that's after the Royal Rumble, so of course that would be the case.
Even?
Well, even later than that. It's like, cool. But the reason I'm like, we don't really know is because, and this is no disrespect to this news outlet, it's just based on the controversy I've seen lately. This was reported by Zero News, and that's Zero spelled with an X, because fuck it, why not?
Oh yeah, he follows us, we follow him.
Yeah,
we know Zero News.
I haven't sort of seen anything to ruin their credibility personally, but I know, like, from recent tweets and the like, that it seems SRS himself has took a bit of umbrage to them being inaccurate in their posts. So, that makes it a little bit questionable, I guess. And I am not throwing shade at them. They've obviously got the information from somewhere, but it's still a little bit of a mystery. It's not being reported by like the likes of Sean Ross or the like. So again, no disrespect to Zero News, but the idea is that he may be back sooner than we think.
Yeah, no, he's clearly sourced, or they are clearly sourced.
Well, quite clearly.
But there's been a few things now, like for example, he bet money that Drew McIntyre was gonna win at Clash of the Castle, and when the person rocked back up and was like, "Where's my money?" He was like, "Nope, you're blocked." It's like,
well, apparently, like people are sort of taking the mick a bit because it's been like, whenever he's wrong, it's plans change. It's like,
which they do.
But, but that's like, are you taking educated guesses, or do you have a source? And I understand, like with one or two, you could go, they changed that at the last minute, fair enough. But it seems that
to be fair, like they definitely are sourced. They get a lot more right than they don't. But
just taking a little bit of.
It's one of those. The thing is, and it's the same with every wrestling news outlet. How much flack have news sites got over the last couple of weeks. Malachi Black has called them out. Buddy Matthew, everyone is calling them out, saying
that's why we play it safe and we just talk about other people's news.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we do. I mean, we've got all our sources, but we don't want to be. Got like, some ketchup out
Carl's there. Actually cousins with Triple H, but we just don't ask.
Shut up. Me and JoJo cousins. That's his niece or something, isn't it? I don't know how that would work. Yeah, something. But no, obviously I'm not. The only thing me and Triple H have in common is both born in July. So moving on to the same thing, Randy Orton. So this one is quite fascinating. Now there's been a lawsuit going on with 2K that has been filed by Randy Orton's tattoo artist.
Before we get into this, I honestly cannot fucking believe the result of this.
Yes,
I'll let you spoil it, but. How does this work?
Where do you draw the line?
I'm so confused about how this works.
Exactly.
But go on. Sorry. Go on.
No. So essentially, obviously, Randy Orton's got some pretty badass tattoos. Got 2 full sleeves, and essentially
badass tattoos.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen them, but I believe that's what the lawsuit was about. So yeah, essentially, the artwork on his arm is essentially copyrighted to the tattoo artist that produced the artwork. So, which would be fine because essentially Randy Orton's allowed to have them because he's paid to have the artwork on his arms, right? Where there has been a bit of an issue is 2K has since gone, well, we're going to put him in our video game and he needs to look, realistic and lifelike.
Accurate.
So we need to put his tattoos in. And so they've obviously done a full scan of all this stuff, put them in the game, which Randy's tattoo artist has gone, well, hang on a minute, you're stealing my artwork? So,
the fuck?
So the lawsuit had been filed and it been to court, and it appears Randy Orton's tattoo artist has won that lawsuit.
Yeah, you've won the lawsuit, and now you're known as Emma being too unfair saying a cunt. Who's gonna go to you for tattoos now? Like you were originally the person, because I don't know whether male or female. You were originally the person who tattooed Randy Orton and did a fucking good job. And people are like, oh, that is awesome. I want to go to that guy. And now you're the person who is going to sue someone if you just happen to end up in a photograph. Like, what I really don't understand is how the court can rule in their favour. Yeah. When you go, well, all 2K did was make an accurate scan of a wrestler for their game. Like, there's in no way can they attribute monetary value to this. They can't go, oh, this person's losing out on revenue on copyrighted material. That's the bit I really don't understand.
Yeah.
2K are not gaining by using your copyrighted material. They're making Randy Orton look like Randy Orton. What the fuck are we stuck with now? Are we just going to have people fucking censored all over their arms? How do you put CM Punk in a game?
Well, I don't.
Are Pepsi coming at him?
I don't. Actually,
what's going to happen there?
I don't actually think they put the Pepsi tattaoo in. To be fair, someone will have to.
Just fucking ruin me point.
Someone will have to.
I feel like a knobhead now.
Fact check me on that. But I do believe there was issues with the putting that in because it was a
even that I'd understand a bit more because you go, well, that is a well-known copyrighted logo.
It's a trademark branded symbol, isn't it?
Right, but correct me if I'm wrong. And Randy's gone to them. I want this tattoo, and they've gone, yeah, cool. Like beyond that, like normal, like. I've got tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sued. Well, I mean, I'm not going to be in a video game, let's be honest, but
Just that's why none of them are on display now.
I feel like I can't wear tank tops anymore. Not that I was going to.
Where are these tattoos? But yeah,
depends what ones we're talking about.
This is true. Also on his ass. But yeah, so it's a fascinating one. As you say, the result of this is a fascinating one, and it kind of opens the door now in terms of what does this mean for stuff like this in the future, because somebody could just turn around and go, well, there's money to be made here, and essentially get that money. So you're gonna have to start any you know what I mean? You have to go, well, I got this tattoo, this place, this tattoo, and you have to go around to all the tattoos and get like permit. I don't really know.
Sign this.
But yeah, I mean,
no, what's gonna happen now? We're gonna have a mandate where if you're a celebrity, whenever you get a tattoo, they have to sign a fucking waiver.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's one of them, and because on the one hand, like, it is this tattoo artist's original artwork, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. You just expect there's a level of agreement that, like, you know, they're displaying your artwork on their body. Yeah, that's kind of the name of the game.
I mean, to be fair, it's interesting. Like, has the tattoo artist also sued, like, you know, Mattel or Hasbro, whoever makes the action figures these days, and gone, well, hang on. I mean, like, where's the line?
Or similarly, you know, like, have they tried to sue WWE directly for him being on TV displaying their artwork? Where do you draw the line, man?
No, they pay a tattoo fee. Tattooition,
hey,
if you will. So yeah.
So this is a nice quick one, Carl. Shawn Spears earlier this week put up a tweet that was a goodbye gif, and then later deleted it. Now the suggestion is he deleted it, you know, regrettable because he was hinting towards leaving AEW. I think he deleted it because no one cared.
Kind of like the Ryback polls.
He put that up, nothing happened. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna delete it.
Maybe he's had a fantastic brainwave, because to me the only way Shawn Spears, like the Shawn Spears like retirement goodbye gif, needs to be just a hand putting that little glove on and then doing a wave. That's what it needs to be. That'd be the perfect one.
I like it. I've long said, like, Shawn Spears, he's been his entire AEW, he's been the victim of his own freedom. To go, well, I'm going to be the chairman, I'm going to be the glove guy. It's like, just shut up, Shawn. Like, he's just, I think that for me, AEW has been proof that WWE weren't holding him back. They did not hold him at all. He was more over as Ty Dillinger than he ever was in AEW. And I don't often say that. I was an AEW defender for a while, especially when they were good, you know, for that first year. I know, just throwing shit. But for me, I'm like, nah, nothing has landed as far as I'm concerned with the AEW run he's had. And that's no disrespect. He's a very talented dude. I just think gimmick-wise, he's proper, like, struggled. But yeah, he put up this tweet saying goodbye and then hastily deleted it. And I don't know if this is in the midst of all the controversy with AEW and like maybe had a moment where he's like, fuck this, I'm out, like a lot of people have, or whether he is actually leaving and then thought against declaring that just yet. I don't know. There was also some suggestion that Sammy's response, which ended up, obviously we end up quite clear on who that was talking to, but he's Sammy Guevara has allegedly tweeted, "You're a jobber, a favour hire, be grateful, bitch." Now I don't know if he was directing that at Shawn, because there's been other controversy.
I mean, it'd be harsh if he was directing at Shawn out of nowhere. I think you probably know, but you know, to add more,
that was attributed to
add more information to this. Obviously, his fiance, wife, the former Iconic herself, is pregnant now, isn't she? So
that is true. I mean, this could be the thing. It could have been innocently him having some time off, and then it's been like, you know, that's a really bad and controversial time to put that out there, Shawn. And they've gone, oh, yeah.
Or
okay.
It was like celebrated, and he's like, no, let's take that down. I'm not really going away.
I reckon he's tweeted it, and then Tony's just bursting and gone, not now, Shawn. He's gone, sorry.
Okay,
you're right.
Of all the fucking times,
we're harmonious.
So yeah, interesting. Let's see what happens with that one. So the next one to talk about is Ruby Soho has posted a picture after recent surgery. Now at All Out, she effectively broke her nose during the match, and only now, a month later, she's finally able to breathe again, as she put it in her tweet. because she's now...
So, rumour mill went rampant. She's leaving AEW now. That's what she meant by I can breathe again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's holding her down.
She's literally had surgery, dude.
Yeah, but that's why she had to post a picture of this, just to, remove any doubt. But yeah, obviously it's quite a gnarly picture. You can see she's obviously had some kind of...
pretty extreme look.
Yeah, gimmicks these days. But no, she's clearly had some nose surgery there to try and fix things up. So yeah, I don't know how long people tend to be out after kind of a broken nose, but hopefully she can rest up and we get to see her back soon. But yeah, wishing her a speedy recovery.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Cody can tear a pec and crack on. She's there like, I'm kidding. No, I do wish her a speedy recovery. I think she's got a bright future in AEW in terms of like this a solid fucking run there as a champion future as far as I'm concerned. So
absolutely, another one who many people think that maybe they've dropped the ball on, or whatever. But
I honestly think there may be some wrestlers who enjoy having a bit more free time and not being on TV every week. Maybe they prefer it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Which then leads us on to the final one to talk about this week, maybe the most interestingly controversial.
So basically, a lot of people are speculating because of the little rabbit on the logo, most likely. A lot of people are speculating. Oh, can I do that? See that?
Yeah, it is.
Wait, is that Ryback? Sorry, I was moaning about that earlier. I'll talk about that in a minute, actually. But anyway, per Frightful Select, because I like to pronounce it wrong. Apparently, people in the know are suggesting that we will have an answer to the White Rabbit mystery at Extreme Rules. Now, a lot of people have been speculating this, and what we don't know for sure is what that answer is going to be. This could be revealing the identity of the White Rabbit or the person actually making an appearance. That bit we don't know just yet, but it seems that we may get some answers as soon as Extreme Rules. Carl, how do you feel about this?
I mean, it seems like that's where it's going. If anyone has been trying to crack the clues and follow along, obviously it wasn't as tricky as our own, pwtv announcement.
No, so stuff.
But it's been fascinating. I believe they've actually hired this person's a former kind of Marvel employee or something that they've got working on this.
Oh, the mystery guy.
The mystery guy, and so they've now hired this person as like the long-term story creative person. So, which is fascinating. But I think it's been really interesting. But the latest set of clues seem to point towards Extreme Rules. But it's been one of them. They've been pointing to Raw and SmackDown every week. So it doesn't necessarily guarantee that. It might just mean we get a teaser on
there wasn't
day.
One of the ones like the time, or like I don't know if they actually meant the time. It was 23rd of September. Remember that?
Yeah.
SmackDown, and they were like, it's going to be
at 9:23.
9:23 on the 23rd. Straight away, ad break. I was like, I don't think they meant the time. I think you guys made that shit up. I think they meant the date.
I reckon though, once that all came out, they were like, we have to stick an ad break in. Everyone's waiting right now. We just have to.
Whoever's in charge of ad breaks.
It seems like they're having a load of fun with it because they're proper trolling people in like the source code of the actual websites and everything. So it's like fair play.
Know what trolls are like.
And the thing is, and obviously we're going to do our Extreme Rules predictions shortly. But
predictions.
I'm fascinated where this fits in on the show.
That's a good point.
Because you would imagine if it is Bray, you would want to bring him in the middle of a tasty feud, right? And it's like, well,
or
where do you bring him?
Just because we like to have this at most pay-per-views now. What if we have the Roman match? Yeah,
it's not even having a match, is he?
Is he not having a match?
No, Extreme Rules.
There's no title.
The only two.
As how clued in I am.
The only two title matches we've got is Ronda and Liv and Bianca and Bayley.
That's crazy. Why aren't we on a title match?
He's not working till Crown Jewel.
You've ruined my whole theory.
So, theory. Maybe it's
my theory was going to be my theory. I was going to say maybe Austin Theory tries to cash in and the White Rabbit stops him and screws him over like everyone likes.
Well, we get some kind of weird thing. He comes out the briefcase. There's a rabbit inside.
He can't even cash in. Can't even cash in because Roman doesn't want to work.
Basically, yeah. So, yeah, sorry to poo-poo all over your theory there. But
I mean, it'd help if I looked at the match card.
I mean, it would, to be fair.
Especially because we're going to be predicting that shit in a minute.
Yeah, clearly you've thought ahead. But, yeah, I don't know. It seems like all these signs are pointing to Extreme Rules, but like you said, that doesn't necessarily mean this person's going to rock up. It could just mean that we're going to find out who it is, or it could even be another slap in the mouth and go, well, actually, it's Crown Jewel, find out more. And it's like, it keeps doing it every premium live event.
Do you know what?
Royal Rumble.
Let's just moan a little bit about the White Rabbit thing. I'm sorry, guys. Right. let's just moan a little bit about the White Rabbit thing, right? And I don't know, this might be this could almost be one of our episodes of 10, right? Because the amount of people who are hinting that they're involved or maybe the White Rabbit, and it's like they don't seem to know how disappointing that would be.
Yeah,
is shocking to me. Like, no offense, but Joe Gacy hinting on his Twitter with the little rabbits and the fucking X's through his eyes, like he might have something to do. It's like nobody wants that, Joe. Like, no offense to you, but when people are expecting Bray Wyatt and they get Joe Gacy, it's not great, right? And the other one that I mentioned to you yesterday because it was annoying me is Ryback putting little rabbits in his Twitter handle now, because of course Ryback's gonna rock up as the White Rabbit, and in Ryback's head the world cheers. But that's not what happens. I promise you.
It's what, like, they have built it up so much to the point if it's anyone other than Bray, people are going to disappoint.
To be honest, the fact they're still going with it suggests to me that it is Bray. It's got to be Bray, because I don't think they're daft enough to keep pushing forward with it, knowing that everyone thinks it's him.
Yeah,
because they can only disappoint.
It's so funny though, because this is kind of a stark contrast of how, like, Cody Rhodes. Do you remember that for weeks he kept doing like little Codyisms or like saying certain words or like crossroads and everyone was getting like, whoa, really into it, and you were like, nah, he's never fucking turning up. And now it's like the complete flip going, well, it's got to be him because they've done all these things. So imagine if now it's the opposite again and we flip it on you and it's carrying cross.
I mean, that would be disappointing. No offense, carrying. Look, it's the guy who's already there. And imagine if we did weeks of like a mystery host, right, and it ended up being you.
I mean,
like, well, you were already the
people
host.
Would love that.
I mean,
it's me.
I know you're over as fuck, but my point is, like, you're already on the show, so what would be the point in that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's the reason. Like, it's not against Carrion, but why would you do a mystery? And that ultimately led to Carrion.
You know, Dark Horse here is still Adam Rose.
What?
Well, he had a white bunny with him.
Why would it be
Adam? Wouldn't it be Adam Rose?
But yeah, like, for me, it's got to be Bray. Like, the Cody thing, I'll own up to that. I was utterly convinced. Like, I still think it was a good idea. It's just a shame Cody didn't. That he could be the Ring of Honor champion and be the big deal to push Ring of Honor as the newly owned Tony Khan thing. I thought, that's fucking genius. Nice one, Tony. Turns out it was no one's idea.
You got played. So, but I'll tell you what, I am very excited to watch Extreme Rules just for this in itself, let alone the other awesome matches on the card.
I mean, this is where credit to WWE lately. I think this is like the last pay-per-view was Clash, and we were super excited for that. We're super excited for this.
Yeah.
They're doing good. They're doing good at the old
last one delivered, so let's see. I think this one will as well. So, fair play.
Delivering so much, they might as well be Uber Eats. Is that track?
I don't know. Let's go with it. So yeah, another fun-filled episode of the Ringside Report. It would be remiss of us, Anthony. It would be apropos of I don't even know how you use that in a sentence, but we have to show this week's beer.
I think that should be our new thing. We'll use big words where they're probably not.
No idea. You tell us in the comments where you use apropos. But it would be apropos to announce this week's Top Rope.
So for those of you who follow our social media, you'll already know Top Rope Tuesday this week has been. This one is, I don't know if it's in memory of, but it certainly is like a loving tribute to the great Brody Lee.
Yes, it is.
And this is the Exalted One.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at it. For starters, I did this last time and I enjoyed doing it. Camera's over here, Nobbed. Right. Look at the artwork on that. That's
intricacies, spider webs on the back and everything.
Looking awesome. Right, but I know you only care about the taste, so I'll tell you, this is a 5.5%. So this is not as strong as the Belgian.
Looks like this
triple that we had last week. That was strong. This one, like, surprisingly, like, because the drink itself is quite fitting because it's dark, you know, dark order, right? But and you'd look at it and like Carl's first instinct when he poured it, was like, it's gonna be a bit like Guinness, this, right? And if you love Guinness, that's boss, right? But we were like, because we were kind of, I suppose, in the mood for a lighter beer. And you know what? It's actually really fresh. It's a really fresh beer, considering.
Yeah,
like, you look at it and go,
it's so light.
You look at it and expect it to be quite heavy, don't you? But it's a really nice, really light beer. Not light in this, like, you know. I don't want to confuse people. There's probably some calories in there. But for those of you who don't give a fuck, But yeah, it's fantastic. And do you know what? I love I don't know if they've had this on the others.
They've had them. Yeah.
This. I need to point this out, and apologies to Top Rope Brewing for me not noticing this first time. But they do a match pairing on the can, which is fantastic. So this can has been paired lovingly with John Moxley versus Brody Lee, AEW Double or Nothing 2020. So that is the perfect match
to enjoy when you're enjoying this.
What a fucking cool idea.
It's awesome, isn't it?
I wish I'd have noticed that on the last ones that I just drank.
It's been on everyone. It's been awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I need to buy more so I can watch them with the match that they recommend.
And where do you go to buy more? You go to topropebrewing.com.
You got that right.
There, you may as well save yourself 10% by using A2theK 10.
You got damn right.
10% off your whole order. Everything. This is just one of the amazing things we have.
Because it's 10% off your whole order, you might as well order a lot.
Well, yeah,
you'll get through them, we do.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely check out topropebrewing.com.
Yeah, fantastic.
And if you're watching us on Pro Wrestling TV, we are proud to be here. So keep watching us. Obviously, we genuinely appreciate it. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then again,
get over to.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, you should download it because you get not just us, you get shitloads of wrestling. I think that's what they say, right?
Shitloads
of wrestling.
They get Wrestling's Best Kept Secret in TNT.
Yes, they do.
They get Women's Wrestling Army.
Yes, they
do.
Rhea
Canellis's passion project.
Indeed.
Wow, what else are we getting?
Got AAA.
We're getting AAA. You get Warrior.
Control Your Narrative. They've got Warrior. They've got loads of shit.
Again, we always mention it. We don't mention them too heavily because technically they're other talk shows, and you're watching us, but there's other ones there too.
There is some awesome talk shows on there as well. Even like Women's Wrestling Army and Control Your Narrative have got their own talk show segments as well. So it's proper variety stuff. There's documentaries on there.
And do you know what? Like,
cool stuff.
Bear in mind, this was something that was created by obviously a wrestling fan, and it was created in April, I want to say.
This year.
Like the strides they've made already is fantastic, and bear in mind there's going to be more content. There's going to be more content to come.
Not us on there for much longer.
No, because we're just balls enough, right? But there's more content coming all the time, and you know what? It's free, so fucking get it.
Fucking get it. I like it. Yeah. Shitloads of wrestling and it's fucking free.
They're your two main taglines.
Yeah, and fun for all the family. So yeah, that's another fun-filled episode of the A2theK Wrestling Show, and be sure to catch our Extreme Rules predictions, where Anthony doesn't know what the card is, so it'll be fun for all. I think
Roman's gonna win.
Goes probably Roman, and then I have to, break it to him. So yeah, until next time, bye.